Welcome back to the second half of our two-part series on Liverpool FC's record-breaking glory years in Europe. This fantastic city from the northwest of England defied the odds to produce one of the best football teams on the planet, and very few have success or history like the Reds to date.
Liverpool are European champions! What joy! Alan Kennedy's penalty goal leaves Rome
You left us last time around the 1975-76 season, right? When Liverpool were going from strength to strength and had just won the UEFA Cup. Yeah, they'd won titles at this point, but as we said, the best was yet to come. So let's get back to the magical tale of Merseyside's greatest football club. Liverpool had turned things up a notch during the 1975-76 campaign. Not only did they win the UEFA Cup, but they won the First Division again, and in stars like Kevin Keegan, they really did have some of the world's best footballing talent in their lineup. Their first big test in the European Cup came in the 1976-77 tournament against French side St Etienne, who had been runners-up the year before. Liverpool dispatched them with a dramatic late winner in the second leg, and then they smashed FC Zurich of Switzerland 6-1 in the semis to reach the final in Rome. Keegan was the star of the show as LFC beat Borussia Mönchengladbach 3-1. They won their first ever European Cup title, and they won the league again the same year. They were on that path to domination. The following season, the Reds returned to European glory. First of all, by defeating Hamburg 7-1 on aggregate in the European Super Cup. This tie had a bit of added spice as Liverpool hero Kevin Keegan had just made a famous move to Hamburg, but the German side clearly proved no match for the Reds. Liverpool defeated Dynamo Dresden and Benfica before meeting last year's final foes Mönchengladbach again, this time in the semis. The Reds won 4-2 on aggregate and set up a final with Club Brugge at Wembley, another side they had encountered in Europe not so long ago. Kevin Keegan had made way for a new hero in the form of Scottish star striker Kenny Dalglish. The forward signed from Celtic and would become a club legend for Liverpool as both a player and a manager, for his class on and off the pitch. Dalglish scored the only goal of the game as Liverpool defeated the Belgians 1-0 to become back-to-back European champions, the first English side to ever do so. Liverpool then would wait until 1981 to get their hands on the trophy for a third time, so not too long. The team went through some changes, like Dalglish in for Keegan, but their dominance continued and a dynasty had been born. After a run to the semi-finals, German giants Bayern Munich stood in the way of the Merseyside outfit in '81. The Bavarian side had already got what Liverpool wanted, 3 European Cups to their name. A titanic clash amongst two of Europe's strongest clubs ended 1-1 on aggregate. The first leg was goalless at Anfield though, so a 1-1 draw in Germany sent the Reds through to the final on the old away goals rule. Waiting for them in Paris, just like in 2022, was Real Madrid. However, that time, Liverpool won. Alan Kennedy scored the only goal for the Reds as Liverpool and coach Bob Paisley lifted a historic third European Cup title. In the 2 years that followed, Liverpool competed in the European Cup but were defeated in the quarter-finals both times. With that, Bob Paisley left the club, but his head obviously was held high. The Reds had won 4 of the last 5 English League titles. Paisley left a legend and remains one of the most successful managers in football history. The man to replace him would oversee the 4th and final chapter in Liverpool's wonderful dominance of the European Cup. That man was Joe Fagan. Now, Fagan had been a footballer himself, but not quite at the top level. It didn't matter though, as for years he had worked his way through the coaching ranks at Liverpool and learnt more than enough from Shankly and Paisley. Fagan was even assistant manager to the latter and was well prepared to take the main job. So Liverpool entered the 1983-84 European Cup as league champions for the 4th time in 5 seasons. They beat Odense of Denmark and Spanish champions Athletic Bilbao before taking on Portuguese champions Benfica in the quarter-finals. Liverpool won the first leg in Anfield 1-0 and then they won in Portugal 4-1 to complete a famous 5-1 aggregate victory. Then they beat Dinamo Bucharest of Romania in the semi-finals and set up another date with European destiny. The Reds had already won the League Cup and the League Championship in Joe Fagan's first year at the helm. However, the year would finish oh so much sweeter with victory in the European final against Italian side Roma. The final was being played in Roma's home stadium too. This wasn't just a neutral cup final for the Reds, it was very much an away day. The Merseysiders were chasing a domestic treble and 4th European Cup, but it wouldn't be easy. Liverpool's Phil Neal scored early on in the final, but a battling Roma equalised just before half-time. A long, gruelling 90 minutes was followed by extra time, but the score remained the same. It would have to be the lottery of penalty shootout to decide the winner, and the key man would be Liverpool's South African goalkeeper Bruce Grobbelaar. Liverpool won the shootout. It was a cruel finish for Roma, especially at their home ground, but history tends to forget the runners-up no matter how close that they come. This was Liverpool's year yet again, and it signalled a famous 4th European Cup and 6th European title in 11 years. Liverpool had success in Europe since, but not them nor many other clubs have had quite such a period of battling out at the top and winning so many titles in so few years. So, is this Liverpool side of the late 70s and early 80s therefore one of the best club sides of all time? At least they have to be considered one of European football's most fearsome. No? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below and stay tuned for the next video as we discuss some more European giants from Spain. See you next time.